Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology, carried the interesting idea that the fool is the mythological precursor to the hero. As in, one must be a fool before they're a hero. As in, one must fail before they succeed. This makes sense. If you want to be great at anything, don't expect to be great at it on your first try. Now, we can carry this idea into free speech, as in, we need to allow people, even with the wrong ideas, even if these are the ideas that you disagree with, to make fools out of themselves. Only then can they be subject to improvement by society. We need to allow these people to voice out their opinions. Only then will they see the reactions that society has towards their ideas. The alternative would mean to forcefully allow these people to delve deeper into their own self-righteousness, to keep their thoughts to themselves, to convince themselves that they're right by being unchallenged. Only by allowing free speech to flow freely can we point out what is right and what is wrong. And though it is tempting to censor specific people or to ban specific terms, it seems that we should do so immediately. But here's the thing.
If we give the government the ability to censor speech, there is no getting this power back. Even if at the moment we agree with a politician or political party on how they'll deal with the issue, one day the political party or politician we disagree with will have the same power. That's why we must be cautious. We must protect even the ideas we don't agree with in order to protect the ideas that we do agree with. We must protect all speech. Now, should we care about this issue today? Is free speech even under attack? Well, social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook have all already taken strides to censor certain controversial ideas on their platforms. Now, if you believe this to be right or wrong, one thing's for certain. The American people are becoming more comfortable surrounding the idea of censorship. This is dangerous, as the next step could very well be to broaden this censorship and pass some kind of legislation. For instance, the issues surrounding hate speech have been moving the conversations surrounding free speech today. This is because we don't know how to define this term, if we should define it at all. And if we can define this term, should we regulate it? Should we allow this term to be defined by some committee, some government, some authority at all? To gain better insight, I asked college students what they think the government should do about hate speech, about free speech, and if they believe that free speech is under attack at all today.
My name is Leonel Escapita, and I'm a computer science major.
All right, so I wanted to ask you, how in your terms would you define hate speech? Or do you think that there's any kind of definition to the term?
Well, what I would describe as hate speech is any form of speech that targets any type of group. It doesn't matter if it's like the majority or minority, race or religion, anything that targets any one of those groups in a negative light, I would consider it to be hate speech.
And do you believe that this definition should be defined by, say, the government or a certain committee or some authority?
I don't think it should be defined, especially by the government. With the whole freedom of speech thing, I just think it's wrong for any type of censorship coming from the government.
And one last thing, do you believe that Americans today are becoming more comfortable with the idea of censorship now that platforms like, say, social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook have already taken steps to censor certain ideas on their platforms? Do you believe that this is going to make people more comfortable with the idea of censorship?
I definitely think that people are getting way too comfortable with censorship, especially when people start to talk about actual problems, and the media just blocks it off as if it never existed, and instead highlights other things that maybe just as grave, but you can't just be biased.
All right, well, thank you so much for your opinions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. My name is Isaac Perez. I'm majoring in mechanical engineering.
All right, so I want to ask you a couple questions. Do you believe that the government should play a bigger role in censoring certain terms that people consider, say, hate speech today?
No, the government shouldn't because, well, freedom of speech, they shouldn't be involved with that issue.
All right.
In a sense.
And then one last thing, do you believe that today that the American people are becoming more comfortable with the idea of censorship now that certain social media platforms are censoring controversial ideas on their platforms? Do you believe the next step could be legislation? Do you think the government might broaden this?
Well, a lot of people are getting comfortable with it because, well, a lot of social medias pick one side or the other. It's not anymore everything gets posted. It's all fact checked on one way or the other. It's just one direction in all social medias.
And personally, do you believe that these social medias should have the ability on their platforms to censor things?
No, because they get to pick one side, what they want to show to the people. So it's one-sided and that's it. No, you don't get to see both sides anymore.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.